the word was mindfulness, like you have to, I always tell people, you have to know, you have to understand what you saw. You have to understand what attracted your attention. You have to understand the dimension of it. I mean, I can look at this thing here, I could get all black, blah, 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 and your face is, okay, this is dramatic. This is the fun. How am I going to do that? But if you don't have that first, if you see something and your attention is caught by it, but you don't sense the elements. What happened? And what happened is nothing happened because you didn't work it. You didn't look at it and look at it. You didn't sit there and say, oh, this is cool. I like this. I like this kind of the high cheekbones and this and this, and then the light coming down, dramatic, dark, bang, 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 boom, it's going to pop. And I gun for it. I gun for it. But if I just take the thing out and go click, it's spray and pray kind of thing, like bam, but there has to be some element of recognition of what you saw and why it's important to you.
I think that's important.
You need motivation.
The why. Yeah. Why are you here, right? Why? What is the intent behind it all? Why do people come to your masterclasses?
I've had some very interesting reasons. But
so there's usually a wide array of reasons why people want to come to Rio Helmi's.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I mean, I think people come, yes, they feel attracted. They want to convey. They come because they want to convey what they're interested in and what they feel. They do. I mean, most of them do. But, I work with people who barely know how to photograph. And sometimes they just knock me out. They really get something that's...
Really?
Yeah, because they have, they understand that, they learn to understand principles that they're the ones it's their idea, their vision, their thing. This is what I want. I mean, one of my latest, I don't know if you follow my Instagram, but if you look on there, there's this woman, Jasmila. She did a thing on a birthing in Bumi Sehat. If you run down Rio Helmi, not documentary, Rio Helmi, and you should find it. And I put it together with an old friend of mine, Robin Lim from Bumi Sehat. And Robin's, it's okay, and this woman, she had such a nice way of, being. And this couple really took to her. She took a few shots. I mean, her first shots that she sent to me, I freaked out. I got on my bike and I went over to the clinic. It was like, Jazz, we got to talk, And she got it. She understood it. And then she worked the angles more. But the most important thing was that she got the trust of this couple who were giving birth.
Yeah.
And this woman just basically gave her carte blanche. I mean, there's some pictures in there that were just a little bit, Instagram would have gone, this does not conform with our community rules.
Sensitive content.
Like, this is life. Doesn't conform with our community rules. We'll take death. But but there were some powerful pictures in there. And I use some of them on Instagram, but she got an amazing portfolio thing. And now she wants to work on, she's working on, I don't know if you know, Bantar Gerbang. Bantar Gerbang is one of the biggest rubbish dumps in Asia. And she wants to do a thing on school there. And that's a much, much more different proposition. But she got the courage from doing this. And she also wanted to do that. And so she has this pulling her. And another person wanted to do portraits. She said she couldn't talk to people. She's too shy. She takes decent pictures because she's too shy. Came back the first day shooting, and she just put the camera down and said, I've never talked to so many people in my life. And she came back with some nice pictures. I mean, great stuff. So there's these things that happen that, because when you just go out and say, take pictures and say, oh, this is the f-stop, and it just becomes a technical exercise, and they don't really know what they're doing anymore. And that doesn't interest me.
No, nor me.
And my wife has done a couple of my master classes, and she's doing a thing on holy water. And her last series of black and whites, there's a few of them that are just really very, very cool. I mean, not saying it's just my wife, but they are cool. And, so there's this Hungarian woman in Georgia who we did a remote mentorship, and she did an amazing series on the holy springs and the whole scene, the midnight meditations and the whole, and
Yep.
really, I mean, just so, because she was really interested. And she said, like, after the third time she went, she decided she had to get in the water herself. It was like full immersion, literally. And, but, some of the stuff is very, so, that I like that. I like being the, what do you call it, like the doorway or whatever, helping people to get to that, because it's fascinating, that transformation, when people transform and see that they can do something.
Must be fulfilling as well.
It's very fulfilling
Yeah.
for me, actually. I didn't really start teaching until about maybe 5-10 years ago, and then very sporadically, and it's only since the pandemic I got much more into it. I teach other stuff, but I teach Buddhism, but I didn't teach photography until later. But this thing of people coming down to this thing that you're talking about, sometimes it's necessary, because they have such an idea of, how to take a picture of how this, and then you kind of like, look, you got to break out of this. And, this is why we do this thing about, being comfortable with yourself and being, knowing how to put yourself in a situation. Otherwise, it's just kind of, it's pillage,